Yes, I hope everybody is doing well this Wednesday. Listen, I don't know about y'all, but I am still not fully back from Thanksgiving. I am like, wait, is December here already? It's just time just flies by. But I could use another week. This is it. As soon as Thanksgiving hits for me, I'm just like everything starts slowing down. Right? It's just like a period where you want to start resting, reflecting, and setting yourself up for the new year, right? Start thinking about 2024. I know I've already been thinking about 2024. You probably already have as well. Um, and so, in today's conversation, we're going to talk about how you need to show up and show out in the new year. All right. And the importance of just going for it, going for the dreams, going for the way that you want to feel, going for the promotion, the money, all of the things. So if you are joining live, hop in the comments and say a hello. If you're catching on the replay, drop replay up in there if it's a little bit later. So I and two, if you are joining as well, drop in and let me know one way that you are going to show up bolder in 2024. How about that? Let's talk about one way you're going to show up a little bit bolder in 2024. Turn the volume up. Turn the volume up. All right. So, I don't know about you guys, but when I'm thinking about the new year, right, one of the first things I start to do is reflect, right? Reflect on the previous year, where things are, how did things go, you know? And in fact, I'm getting together with one of my business besties tomorrow for the weekend to do some of this reflection in 2024 planning. So, hence the topic. So, as I start thinking about what happened and what transpired in the year, yes, I go through revenue goals for the business, number of clients I worked with, marketing goals, all those types of things, all of the like data metric kind of information. But, well, not even but, also, one of the important things that I start to look at is the being. How did I feel when I was showing up in spaces? How did I feel in operating my business if there were new projects or even in working with different clients? Like, how did I feel about how I showed up? Were there any things that I did this year that I was a little scared of, a little nervous? Your girl was a little nervous, but did it anyway, or didn't do it? Right? The fear got me. Starting to look at those spaces around how I am showing up, what kind of energy I am putting into things. Because sometimes it's not even about time management, it's really about your energy and the space that your energy is in. So there are a lot of different reflection questions that you can begin to think through that focus more on the being and focus more on your energy, your attitude, your perspective, your mindset. Ooh, Jesus. Okay. Right. Your mindset. Okay. And how much that impacts your ability to hit all the goals and do all the things that you feel will help you to be successful or set you up for success entering the new year. And for the things that you want to give yourself some claps on and celebrate, because we need to do that as well. So that being and feeling and showing up space, that's a space that I want to just give you a little nudge to make sure you take some time to reflect on, right? Really take some time to think about what was happening with me in terms of the way that I was showing up. So if it's in the workplace, all right, if it's in your job, what kind of energy were you bringing to your job? Were you really lax? Were you all go getter? Were you pensive? What kind of energy were you bringing to the space? And note if how your energy shifted depending on the types of projects you were working on, the type of people you were working with. You know, like how did you notice a change? And it's really important to think about that because listen, I'm about y'all. Listen, I speak for myself. Y'all know, in case you don't know, a lot of times when I'm talking about things like this, I'm I'm literally talking to myself, and it's ironic as ever because literally on the screen I see myself, and then I'll see other people, post in the comments, but it's literally talking to a mirror, and then other people are listening. Okay, it's basically how it goes. Okay, and so as I'm thinking about how I showed up in different spaces of the year, I can think to those times when I felt really, really nervous or anxious going into certain speaking engagements, how I felt relief, and maybe even celebratory afters because I may have crushed it. Um, I think about even showing up for these lives every Wednesday. Can we talk about consistency for a second? Okay. Like how there were moments where I was like, yes, 20s Lives Wednesday, bop, 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 bop. And plenty of times where my VA would hit me and be like, Nana, we doing live this week? I was like, girl, no, I don't have it in me. Like, I'm tired. I'm not doing it, and being okay with that, just being okay with that. And other times when I was like, okay, Nana, the rut is hitting you. Like, come on, hop back in it, get back in the game. Like, let's go, and having to self motivate. So the energy of how you show up, it looks like this. Right? And really, sometimes it can look like this, and then it could plateau, it could dip, it could shoot back up. Really, it's probably more like that. It's a little bit more of a roller coaster ride sometimes. And it's okay, right? It is okay. What's up, Portia? Yes, girl, it's a dress. Okay. Straight from Ghana, because those people be calling it the moo dresses. I just call it the house dress, even though I be going outside in it too. So, um, but it's really important to think about our energy and reflect on how your energy, with the moments across the year where your energy levels were really high, and the moments where they were low, and the moments where they may have just been a little blah, and you're just kind of going through the motions, and take stock of what you were doing, what was happening in your life at that time, both personally and professionally. Okay, because you might notice some trends. You might notice some times of the year where your energy levels get low. This winter is the weather as a whole is can be a big can play a big part in our energy levels, right? And how that impacts the way that we show up. So the winter time right now, this might be your space where it starts feeling like, what, I'm about to be in hibernation. And so showing up for everything, not really my speed. Okay. If it is, like, I'm with you because I got a little bit of that in me as well. Okay. So I want you to really think about the being, right? How are you being? And especially how that relates to your energy in one space, and where your energy levels were high, where they're kind of average, and where they were low. I want you to also think about your being in terms of your confidence. This might be a weird one. You might be like, okay, maybe you're like, wait, break that down a little bit more. So I want you to think about how you were being in terms of your confidence as it relates to the spaces where your confidence was super high, where you were like, I'm a badass, I'm about to shut it down and crush all the things, or spaces where you felt more anxious, felt more nervous, second guessing yourself. Okay? Identify those spaces for yourself. And again, it could be professional or personal, right? Like I was saying, there were definitely different speaking engagements that I was doing this year and I was nervous about, or different webinars that I was doing and worried about, would I be able to get all the stuff together? You know, I'm always, I'm always nervous about my slides because this is the management consultant in me about slides, and slides need to be beautiful and clear and concise in their message and information, and just like literally just going on and on with the slides. I'm a recovering slide addict. But even in that space of feeling less confident about that work product, especially confidence in your money. Woo, child, did I hit a nerve? Okay. Did you feel confident asking for the raise this year? Did you feel confident raising prices in your company this year? Or in your services and offerings? Like, where did you feel confident? Where did you feel empowered to basically, where when you feel fear, right? And you do it anyway, and that can send your confidence to a whole other level, versus when you feel fear and the fear gets you and you don't do the thing, right? And your confidence levels feel low, and then you might start beating yourself up. So get a gauge on what was happening for you that impacted your confidence levels. So as you even think about, especially that confidence space, right? You already know, how did your perception of your body, okay, your shape, how did that contribute to your confidence levels, especially when we start talking about your wardrobe, your style, and how you're showing up with your image? So if you were on a wellness journey this year, right, and wanting to feel more in shape or healthier, how did that go? Okay. Are you like celebrating yourself because clothes are fitting the way you want them to, skin's glowing because you've been hydrating with the H2O? Like, are we celebrating all the great things? Or are we in a space where we are feeling, feeling self-deprecating because we gained weight, we didn't lose all the weight, things are feeling tighter, we're not feeling at our best, so our confidence is getting impacted? Just take note of those spaces where things were happening and they were, again, impacting how you were showing up. Because when things are impacting your energy and they're impacting your confidence, it is 100% going to impact what you are able to give and how you are able to feel entering spaces. You with me? You flow? You see the connect? So it's really important to identify that. And it directly connects to, oftentimes it can connect to what your strengths are, what your talents are, those spaces, just reinforcing those spaces that you feel your best, and shining a light on the spaces where you're like, I got to put some work in over here. Okay. And whether that's investing in help and assistance through coaching or therapy, or a trainer, or just even taking some time to do some self-reflecting, like find the way in which, find the spaces that that you need to make some improvements, and then you can start to think about what that looks like, right? Okay, come on now. We need to celebrate these small wins, quote unquote. And I love it, Portia, that you focused on your skincare and eczema this year and you're proud of the results. Yeah, celebrate the skin looking clear and glowing. I always be talking about your skin. Just be glowing. As soon as you get on the camera, I'll be like, okay, honey do. Honey do. So yeah, celebrate all those spaces. And and that's a really good point that Portia brings up, because when I talk about style, for those of you who've been rocking with me for a little while, I always talk about the cap, and we talk about clothes, we talk about accessories, and we talk about beauty. So as you're thinking about your body and celebrating the ways in which your body was changing and shifting and growing this year, it's not just in your shape or your weight, right? It's in your skin, it's in your hair, maybe you're doing some nail care. Like, it's all of these different spaces that you can just really celebrate yourself, because the small wins in those daily habits can really have a bigger impact in just how you feel overall about yourself, right? And that's a huge component in having that increase in self-esteem and self-confidence for how you are going to show up in this world. Okay, let me get a swig of some water. So, reflection, first place to begin. Now, let's start thinking about this new year, okay? Because the reflection is always going to reveal like where you want to put your energy for the new year. All right, it's going to illuminate. It's going to come on, turn on like the light. So really start putting down on paper where you want to show up big. Like, I want you, you know what? There is a shift that takes place. You're going to do that reflection, but then I want you to put the reflection, end on a great note of celebrating your highs and being like, I did so well in these spaces. You're obviously going to identify the spaces where you're like, there's some growth areas here too. But stay in that energy of like celebrating yourself and feeling proud of yourself in at least one space. Then let's talk about dreaming a bit, okay? Thinking about 2024, thinking about everything aligning for your highest good. Think about all the ways in which you want to feel successful, beautiful, loved, courageous, bold, badass. Fill in the blank with the positive superlative. Okay? Like, feel that energy, right? Of that woman. So is it the woman who is going in to ask for the promotion? And it's not even an ask. She's just going in to let them know, like, I'm going to get this promotion this year. And here are the elements that I would like to accompany this promotion. Thank you so much. Right? Is it her starting and launching that business? Doing it because you've been wanting to for so long? Is it showing up on social media and video because you've been wanting to, but you've been scared? Like, what are the things? What are the areas? Is it updating your wardrobe and your style because you've been feeling drab year after year and you're like, I can't take it anymore? Like, I really have to shift what's in my wardrobe? Yes. Okay. The dreaming part is big. Like, when we try to just release the areas that we feel like we're not enough in and let those quiet for a second and just dream about, how do I want to show up? How do I want to feel? How do I want to look entering 2024? What's the space? So when you're that woman who is, if you want to be in the C-suite, if you want to be on stages speaking, if you want to be traveling more for work, if you want more of your time and you want to be able to be working from home and have flexibility, if you want to have this luxurious vacation in Turks and Caicos, like whatever and however big the dreams are, put them out there, write them down. Okay. And I just want you to start to think about how you're showing up. So, what your energy looks like, what your style looks like, what your bank account looks like, cha-chings, okay, right? Like all of these spaces that are impacting your confidence, okay? All of these spaces that are impacting your confidence, because your confidence, that's it. That's the tie for you to directly feel how you want to when it comes to your aura when you're living your life. Okay. So, because a lot of times, we be like, how are we showing up? How are we showing up? How you show up is just you. It's not a complicated thing. How you are showing up is simply about you. How are you speaking to yourself? How are you speaking to others? How are you allowing others to speak to you and with you? Like what kind of energy or confidence or feeling are you emitting when you enter into different rooms? Is it one of self-assuredness? Are you shrinking and hiding? Like, are you nervous? What is it? Right? What is it? How are you showing up? How are you walking into the spaces? How are you having conversation with others? Right? It is you. It is all you. Okay? Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Portia. We doing, you know what I'm saying? Depending on the side. What do you like? um, but it is about you. How you show up is you. So the other great thing about it is you can change it at any point in time. And the reset of the new year is one of the best times to think about making that kind of shift. So I want this to be a space of planting the seed for you to reflect and just dream about how you want to show up in the new year. And you already know that space around your closet and what you're wearing every day is a space that you want to give some attention to, because it's what you're doing every single day. So you can have all of this feeling like I'm about to conquer the world. This is the day I'm going to talk to my manager about asking for that promotion, about asking to be put on that VIP project. This is it. And you talk yourself up. You got your talking points on deck, ready to go. And then you open your closet door and you're like, okay, what am I going to wear? Because I want to feel, right? You want to feel confident. You want to feel like a boss. You want to feel that exact energy that's going to help you have that great conversation, seal the deal, get the promotion, etc. So if you open those closet doors and it starts to send you into a swirl of a panic attack, if clothes are just getting stacked on the bed because you're like, I don't know what to wear. Okay? If you're like nothing is fitting, if you're like everything in here is black or blue or khaki, right? Tailspin. It's going to give you the exact opposite feeling that you desire. So make sure that you're thinking about what you need to have in your closet so that you can show up and show out the way that you want to. Just saying. Okay? Everything is tying together. Like everything around how you look and how you're presenting yourself should feel good and aligned to you. right? It should feel good and aligned to you. And if it's not, time out, flag on the field. It's time to switch things up. Like you got to run a different play. I won't even be watching sports like that, but the analogy came. So those are the things that you're going to recognize and know, like, I need to make this shift. And really, quite frankly, you already recognized it. You've already recognized, like, I need to shake things up because, listen, there is something powerful that can happen when you start to make some changes with your physical appearance. Whether it's that new hairstyle, you get a new haircut, you do a color change, like to Portia's point, you get that esthetician skincare popping and your skin is glowing more. Like there are all different ways that you can begin to make shifts in your physical appearance and feel better about how you are going to show up. Maybe you simply need to add more accessories to your looks, right? Maybe your shoes are run all the way beat down and you need to upgrade them. Hey, Anika. So find the space with your style and your wardrobe where you're looking at things and you're like, nah, these pieces are not contributing to me having the type of confidence that I need to execute in my life. Okay. And in some cases, when you're looking at your wardrobe and your style, it's often that those pieces are outdated in the style. They're just old. They're just old. Quality levels are not where they need to be. Colors are outdated and not popping. Okay. They are literally not popping to highlight and illuminate your features. And it just keeps you in a feeling of feeling underestimated, feeling hidden, feeling like you're just going to kind of blend in with the fold of everyone else. And if your clothes are communicating one thing, but your goals and desires are saying something else, no. It's not going to come together. It's not going to align. You're sending two completely different messages to yourself, to others, to the universe, to the world, to God. Like you're just sending confusion out there. So let's check it this year. Let's make sure everything is in alignment and humming so that your big goals and dreams can be just in alignment with the big energy, with the big style, with the boldness that you have entering any room. Portia said, yes, this is why all the women on YouTube and TikTok are talking about reinvention. A lot of them talk about dressing like a wealthy woman and caring for yourself. 1,000%. 1,000%. Like you can, and it's so funny, like we are saying this a little earlier, you can switch up your energy at any time. Whether you need to reinvent yourself, whether you want to make anything, you're going to make a career change. Okay. You want to change your career, change industries, change roles. Like you have to learn about that industry. You have to change up your skills. You might have to change up the way that you are interacting with others or working in teams. Like you got to do some work to set yourself up for success because it's a new thing. It's a different playground. And you have to accommodate yourself and say, okay, not even accommodate yourself, but you have to, really, really kind of shift yourself so that you can be successful there. You have to learn and do new things, right? So if you're going to do that, you have to really understand that you're making an identity shift. All right. You really are making an identity shift for yourself. So if you are, let's talk wealthy women like all day long. I love this term. It is one that I embody and really try to adopt into myself and with myself. But if that's something that you desire and that's a path for yourself to feel that, like you're making that identity shift, you're making that change to enter into that type of woman. So, who is she, right? Who is she? Where is she vacationing? How is she spending time with her family? What does her team look like? What car is she driving? You know, what is she wearing? Obviously. Okay? Like, what is it? When she's meeting with people, how do people feel in her presence? Okay? What magazine covers is she or doing photo shoots for? Huh? All right? So those are the things we want to think about. Okay? Those are things we want to give some energy to. So I want to empower you. Like, let this be the moment where you start to really think about, how do I want to show up? What's the identity shift that I want to make for 2024? What is it? Okay? What is that shift? And I'm telling you, when you're thinking about that shift, think about it holistically. You're going to think about it in terms of your career and your profession. You're going to think about it in terms of your relationships. Okay? You're going to think about it in terms of your wellness. You're going to think about it in terms of your style and your wardrobe. Okay? And you're going to start to identify what ways you want to, what and how you want to make investments to get you on the right track, so that you can be bolder in how you're showing up. Because that's really what ultimately, I think that's what it comes down to. Like, you just realize that the fear is not going to hold you. Fear is not going to hold me. Like 2024, the fear is not going to hold me. You know what I'm saying? The fear is not going to hold me. All right? Listen, let me read these comments while I get a little tissue. Cause I don't let me get on the pulpit. Okay, listen, let's get into feeling and looking expensive on whatever budget, right? Like feeling worthy, feeling wealthy. These are great ways to feel and be, because there's a lightness, there's an empowerment behind that. Like, come on, when you look good, you feel good and rich. Thank you so much. Thank you, Portia. Yes, Anika, come on. Thank you. We dropping a whole word here. Yes, it requires courage on the road to self-discovery. I love that, Anika. I'm trying, thank you, to encourage you to, work on our beautiful insides as we reinvent our outward appearance. 100%. Okay. Listen, the investment is real. Like, I think there's something that just is important about recognizing within yourself that you need to make a shift. Typically a mindset shift happens first, right? You're like, I want to make some changes. I want to have more time. I want to vacation more. I want to exercise more. I don't want to cook anymore. I want to, listen, whatever it is your life. It is your life. And you can pick whatever you want in terms of how you live it. Okay? Like, we could go down a whole thing about you not having to prescribe to the set core of what successful looks like. Define it for yourself, figure it out for yourself. Okay? Because one person's wealthy is not another person's wealthy. One person's rich is not another person's rich. Just saying. Okay? So you got to figure out what it is for you. So, 100%, that mindset shift is really what is kicking in. And now's the time for it to happen. Like, now is the time for you to stop and reflect on how your mindset is shifting about what you want for yourself in the new year. Don't wait for the new year to get here. And then you're like, okay, what do I want? Plant the seeds now. And really, real talk, you done been planted the seeds. The seeds has already been planted, okay? But now you might just be taking a minute to just look at, okay, what's been planted? Do I want to keep harvesting that? Do I want to keep putting some energy there? Do I want to keep watering them seeds? Or do I need to plant some new seeds? Like, how are those seeds going? Are they growing? Or we got weeds, right? Like this is literally your time to start looking at the garden, looking at the harvest. Y'all know I love an analogy. We will ride that analogy into the ground. So it's all of these things about just really understanding that a change is necessary, a shift is necessary, a transformation is necessary in order for you to achieve your goals, become the woman you desire. That's it. Continuous evolution, continuous personal growth. We are always growing. So, how are you going to grow? How are you going to evolve your style and your wardrobe? How are we doing it? How are we growing in our confidence? How are we doing it? Okay? How are you literally going to become your biggest cheerleader? How are you going to become your biggest advocate for 2024? How are you going to do it? Okay? It's a daily habit kind of thing, but you got to make a decision that you're committed to it. That's going to happen for you. Because you're like, fear ain't going to get me. Fear ain't going to get me in 2024. Like, you're going to come for me. It's going to be, Bobby, you're going to be dodging fear, And even if fear does get you, you're going to be like, nah, I can tap into the ways that I feel more confident and shake that sucker off. Okay? Yes, the seed and planting. That analogy, it goes every time I hear it. I'm like, yes, it just re-energizes me. Come on, time to shift, become the woman you desire to be. Come on, y'all. This is what we are doing. This is the kind of energy that you want to have going into 2024. Yes, Anika, intentionality. Like you setting that intention works wonders for yourself. Wonders. It really does. Because then you'll start to notice that things will start to all of a sudden just naturally start coming into play. And if you're like, oh, you know what? I need a virtual assistant. Oh, you know what? I'm looking for a public speaking coach. Oh, you know what? I'm looking for this person to help me with my LinkedIn profile. Oh, I'm looking for this person to help me with my career, and I really need a career coach. Like when you start being intentional about what you need and you desire, the people, the things, the opportunities, they will show up. And then it's on you. Are you going to take action? What's up? It's literally being sent to you. Are you going to take action? Right? That might be your question for yourself in 2024. Are you going to take action? Are you going to take action? And we go in all caps, yes, baby, yes. Okay? You're taking action. Okay? Because the mindset shift, it means nothing if you do not take action. It means absolutely nothing if you do not take action to follow through on it. That's the way that real change starts to come through for yourself. Or you can start to feel something different because you're actually doing. You recognize the being, then you start to do. Right? So make those investments in yourself. Are you going to take action in 2024? And what does that look like? Oh, faith without works is dead. Say it. Say it, Anika. Okay? This is it. We pray for the things. God brings it to us and say, but I'm not sure because I thought it was going to look like this. Like, I know I said I wanted a promotion, but I thought the promotion was going to be X amount of dollars. I thought it was going to look like this and be like this. And God is like, well, one, if you wanted all that, you ain't tell me. You didn't get specific. Okay. And two, based on what I know you need, this is it right here. So you better take some action on this thing. Because if you pass it up, I'm gonna be here because I love you. But I'm probably going to be irritated. That's people. God is always here for you for the love. God's always got you, right? That's like the constant forever. But it is definitely within us as people, we can miss it. We can miss it because we're so focused on what's not working and what's not there versus what is, right? And what is there is a commitment for yourself to grow. What is there is a desire for change. What is there is a hunger to like be your best self as often as possible, to be just vibrating in this space and in this energy on that level of knowing and feeling like I'm living out my purpose. Come on, purpose. Listen, I am doing the things that I've been put on this earth to do. And when you feel that and it feels so good, listen, the confidence, to the way the swag factor gets elevated is huge. It is huge, huge, huge. Nika said, girl, don't reject the package because you don't like the wrapping. Come on. Let's go. Hey, Sherry. Come on. Oh, I'm so glad I'm speaking to your situation. Yes. We need these reminders all the time. That's right. We're going to step out. Don't be afraid to miss it to make it. Okay? And let's put this nugget on the table too. Like how important it is to surround yourself with the people who are going to encourage you to be your best, to show up and show out fully in the year. Make sure you have a community of girlfriends, partners, spouses, work colleagues. You have got to have people around you who you're your first actually, let me break that down. God is your biggest cheerleader and advocate, right? Then you follow up, close second. Then all the people around you, like your closest people, they have to be in the cheerleading section as well. They have to be in the advocate department as well. And if there's anybody who's not feeling that role, or you're feeling any slight, you know the feeling. You know the feeling when you get a little grinning, okay? And it feels a little uncomfortable, or you're just like, why say that like that to me? Like, I feel like you like really root for me in my dreams. Like, I want to do a new thing, and you're like, stick with the old thing. Nah. Like there's some editing that has to happen. Ooh, another analogy just came. Ooh. Okay, I promise this will be my last analogy. But listen, when you are putting together an amazing outfit, you have to edit it. Okay? Like the edit is necessary. Sometimes you might be doing too much with your accessories, too much jewelry's happening. Okay? Sometimes you got to look at your color combinations and be like, all right, do I have on too many jewel tones here? Like, am I going for a monochromatic thing? Right? Like, sometimes you might have to edit the shoe. Is the shoe going with the look? You got to change up the handbag. Like, you don't just put all the pieces together and walk out the door. You have to look in the mirror, and it might require you to edit some things, okay? Before you get to the look where the fit is laying on the body the way that you want it to, all right? The accessories are clearly identified and popping and distinct, okay? Lipstick popping, like hair did, nails done, everything did. Like the whole outfit is coming together and singing beautifully. It takes some time, but you have to make that edit before you set out the door and really feel at your best. Your community ain't no different. Okay? You have got to make edits in your relationships. You've got to make edits in the people that are closest to you. And edits don't necessarily mean hard cuts. Sometimes they are, sometimes they're not. Sometimes it's just a recognition for you to know, who do I keep close and who do I need to keep at arm's length? Because you got to manage the energy field. Okay? You got to manage the energy field for the new year. And sometimes it can be the hardest thing, making the edits when it comes to people, because people be people. Okay? And this is personal, work, all the things. Might have a manager you can't stand who's blocking your blessings. You might have a colleague who's always trying to outshine you or dim your light. There's so many different scenarios, right? So edit. Figure out what needs to be cut, what needs to be added. Okay? Because bottom line, you want to be feeling confident and in that good feeling space as much as possible. Right? And then managing that energy field, it's a big thing. Because when your energy is feeling at its best, confidence levels are up. We're showing up, we're showing out in all the best possible ways. And what you're putting out is what you will receive. What you are putting out is what you will receive. I feel like the thermometer popped on the turkey. It's done. I said it was my last analogy. I lied. So that's it. That is it. So if you want that big, bold, wealthy woman, C-suite woman, big boss entrepreneur woman, like whatever energy you desire, you have to embody that, put that out, and you will receive it. Run tell that. All right. Listen, y'all. I'm about to go and get me a little bit of tea because New York, it's getting cold, and I rebuke a cold, but I think it's just my sinuses acting up a little bit. But I'm about to just go sit and marinate. And this, like I said at top, some of y'all might miss this. I don't know. But literally, these are the things I say to myself. These are things I say to myself. I'm talking to myself constantly, like all the time. If you're not talking to yourself, I think that's not normal. Because you have to continuously talk to yourself and ask yourself what's happening, what you need, what you don't want. And those are going to be so many moments throughout just in a day where you get hit with things. And you're like, how am I going to figure this out? What is the situation? And you got to keep those energy levels rising. Keep those energy levels in a really great, vibrating, positive space, in that feel good space as much as possible. So talk to yourself, affirm yourself, listen to the things you need to do, read the things you need to do, talk to the people you need to talk to who are going to keep you in that feel good space so that you can crush 2024 in the most amazing way. I'm so glad you love this Power Hour, Anika. Thank you, Portia, Sherry, and all those who might be watching and hopefully digesting this and feeling good and encouraged to enter the new year. And you already know, if your style and your wardrobe is a space where you're like, I got to make sure that how I'm feeling and how I'm looking are in alignment, drop the word style to me in a DM. And I want to talk with you about how I can help you show up and show out in 2024. All right. I hope you all have a fabulous rest of your day, and I will see you next week. Bye.